Hi guys, it's Pixels Tech here, and I'm back with an exciting video because Widgy now supports Spotify. And this is a tutorial on how to get that set up. So let's get right into it. So you are going to need a Spotify account, which is set up as a developer, and we're going to go through that also. So first things we're going to do is go to settings, and then we're going to click on more settings. And at the bottom left, you can now see use Spotify. Let's press that. So what we're going to need is the Widgy URI. So if you see on the right hand side, it says copy redirect URI. Press that. And now we need to get a client ID and client secret. So to do that, we need to log into Spotify, link it to a developer account and create an app. So let's do that by pressing begin Spotify setup. And that will take you to the familiar login page for Spotify. So let's log into Spotify as normal. For this, I'm going to use the username and password. You can use the code via email, but I'm just going to use the password as normal. And that will take you to this Spotify for Developers account. Now, if you click the menu button and then documentation, you can click on Web API. You can have a look at how this setup works, but it's not absolutely necessary for you to go there. So at this stage, let's make sure we've copied the redirect URI from Widgy. And then we can go and open Safari again, and you're going to get some Spotify developers terms and conditions. I advise at this stage that you read through them, and then once read, press I accept the Spotify developer terms of service tick box and press accept the terms. And this is going to take you to a developer dashboard from where we can create a new app. So press create app, and now we're going to start typing in our details. For the app name, I'm going to call it Widgy integration, and then I'm going to put in an app description Pixels Widgy or something like that. Let's just make sure it's relevant to you. You can call it Steve's app if you want. Website is a non-mandatory field, so we're going to leave that blank, and then we're going to go to the redirect URI, and we're going to paste the redirect URI back from the Widgy app, which we copied earlier, into this box, and then we're going to press add. And as you can see, that's now been added to our list. So the last thing you need to do is check Web API in which API do you plan to use. And then after checking the terms of service, tick I understand, and then press save. And now you're ready, set up as a developer with an app ready to use. So you can see the client ID. Mine's covered black, so you don't steal mine. So we're going to copy that using the copy button and paste it into the client ID section in Widgy. So now we're going to go back to our browser and get our secret. So let's click view client secret, and we're going to do the same with that. Press the copy button, go back to Widgy and paste it into the client secret section. And then finally press login in the top right corner. And that's it. We're connected to Spotify, and you can now control your music on Spotify via your existing and new Widgy widgets. If you do want to go back to Apple Music, you can press disable Spotify or use Apple Music, and it returns the setting to its original state. Now let's have a quick look at controls. The controls are exactly the same as before, so if you already have your Siri Shortcuts set up for next, play and previous, then you can skip this part. But as you can see, the controls on my widget are controlling the music within Spotify. So I'm going to quickly show you how to set this up in an existing widget that I made for this video. So we're going to leave the settings, and we're going to go to the create section and select the widget that we want to use. So the symbols are all unchanged, but on the symbols we're going to need a tap action. So we're going to create a tap action, and we're going to make sure the external action is open shortcut. We're going to press that, go to custom actions and run shortcut. Now to run a shortcut, it needs to be named the exact name as the shortcut is. So this one's called play pause Widgy, and if I go over to the shortcut, you can see it says skip forward action, a Widgy reload action, and then a return to home screen action. That's generic throughout my controls for next track, play pause and previous track. Now let's go back to the Widgy app and have a quick look at the image and the text. So first we're going to go onto the image. We're going to click on the image button, and we're going to go to system and music player album art. That's generic for both Apple Music and Spotify. There's no change there. And now for the text, we're going to go to our text, and in the data source section, we're going to go to music player, and then we're going to select the text that we want to display. But please note that Spotify doesn't support all of these selections, but they're identified by the Apple Music only in brackets. So there you have it. You now have Spotify fully controlled on your Widgy widget. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, ring my bell, feed my ego, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.